It was the drawing that didn't make sense. A stick figure classroom, crayon desks, bright yellow sun in the corner, and in the center, the teacher. She was smiling, but the student had drawn tears running down her face. At first, it looked like a child's mistake. Kids mix emotions all the time. But then someone noticed something else. The smile looked exactly like the one in every single photo she'd ever posted. And that's when people started asking a question no one had asked before. Why did her smile never reach her eyes? To everyone who knew her, Emily Carter was the definition of positivity. She taught second grade. She decorated her classroom with pastel colors and handwritten notes. Her students described her as the fun teacher, the one who brought cupcakes on random Tuesdays, the one who remembered everyone's birthday. Parents loved her. Coworkers admired her. Her Instagram reflected the same warmth. Short reels of classroom crafts, photos of bulletin boards, selfies with captions like, "Another beautiful day with my amazing kiddos. Grateful for small moments. Choose joy." Everything about her felt consistent. Same bright lighting, same tidy classroom corner, same cheerful tone. And always the same smile. It wasn't exaggerated, it wasn't fake-looking, just steady, reliable, comforting. The kind of smile you expect from someone who seems to have life completely under control. No drama, no oversharing, no negativity. Just positivity on repeat. And for a long time, nobody questioned it. The first thing anyone noticed wasn't the smile, it was the sleeves. Long sleeves in winter made sense. Long sleeves in spring, maybe. But long sleeves in late May? Inside a classroom with no air conditioning? Students wore short sleeves, other teachers did too. But Emily didn't, not once. Every photo, every reel, every staff picture, long sleeves. Even during field day, even during art projects with paint, even in a video where she joked about how hot the classroom was. Someone commented, "Girl, aren't you melting in that sweater?" She replied with a laughing emoji. Always cold. It seemed harmless, until someone realized she wore long sleeves even in photos taken outside in full sun. Then another detail surfaced. There were no candid photos. None. Not from coworkers, not from staff events, not from parent volunteers. Every image of her looked prepared, centered, framed, intentional, almost like they were all taken by the same person. But nobody could quite explain why that felt unsettling. So life continued, and the smile stayed the same. The second clue appeared quietly. It wasn't visual, it was timing. Her Instagram posts went up at 7 p.m. every day. Not around 7, not between 6:50 and 7:10, exactly 7 p.m. People joked about it. She's so organized, she probably schedules everything. But then someone checked older posts, months back. Same thing, 7 p.m. every day, even on weekends, even during holidays, even during teacher training days. Always 7 o'clock. Then came another question. If she was filming content during the day, why did none of it ever feel spontaneous? No messy desk moments, no hallway chatter, no accidental background noise. Everything looked staged, controlled, like someone had approved every frame. Then a coworker mentioned something odd. During lunch breaks, Emily rarely used her phone. She kept it face down. Notifications were muted. Once, when it buzzed repeatedly, she flipped it quickly, typed something, then locked it again. She looked tense, but when someone asked if everything was okay, she smiled. That same smile. Just busy. Then came the detail that changed everything. During a classroom activity, students were asked to draw their favorite thing about school. Most drew recess, friends, snacks. One student drew Miss Carter. She was smiling, but her eyes were downcast and there were blue lines under them. When asked about it, the student shrugged. She looks happy but also sad. The teacher supervising laughed it off. Kids imagine things.
But later, that drawing was placed beside one of Emily's Instagram posts, and suddenly the resemblance was eerie. Same smile, same posture, but the drawing captured something the photo didn't: emotion, or lack of it. That's when coworkers began quietly comparing notes, and the questions started piling up. Eventually, someone asked her directly about the posting schedule, about the curated photos, about the privacy. She smiled gently. "I just like consistency." She explained she scheduled posts to avoid distractions. She said she preferred not being in candid photos. "I'm kinda private," she laughed. And honestly, it made sense. Some people are just like that: structured, careful, professional. Her explanation was calm, reasonable, believable. And for a moment, the tension faded. Maybe everyone had overthought it. Maybe the sleeves were just comfort. Maybe the timing was just organization. Maybe the smile was just her smile. The mystery seemed to dissolve until something small happened again, and this time it couldn't be ignored. A coworker accidentally tagged her in a spontaneous staff room photo. Just a quick snapshot, no posing, no preparation. Within minutes, the tag disappeared. The photo was still there, but Emily had untagged herself. Later, she apologized. "I just like controlling what's online." That word lingered. Controlling. Then someone noticed something else. She never replied to comments instantly, but sometimes replies appeared seconds after comments were posted. Too fast, almost automated. Then came a parent mentioning seeing her at a grocery store. They waved, she smiled, but when her phone buzzed, she stopped mid-conversation, checked it, typed quickly, and her entire demeanor shifted. More guarded, more careful. Then came the realization: her captions didn't sound like her. They were polished, uniform, almost scripted. And when older posts were reviewed, subtle patterns emerged. The same phrasing, the same tone, the same positivity, regardless of context. It was as if someone else was writing them. Then one coworker remembered something. Emily once mentioned her partner helped with social media. At the time, it sounded supportive, but now it sounded different. They started piecing it together. The scheduled posts, the curated photos, the lack of candid images, the constant phone monitoring. Her online life wasn't hers, and the smile? It was the only expression that never raised questions, so she kept using it, over and over, because it was safe. Situations like this often remain invisible, not because there are no signs, but because the signs look normal. Consistency is praised, privacy is respected, positivity is admired. Control hides behind organization, monitoring hides behind support, isolation hides behind being private, and when someone smiles, people assume they're okay, especially that smile that never changes. But emotional control often works quietly, through routine, through subtle restrictions, through shaping how someone is seen. It doesn't always look dramatic. Sometimes it looks like a perfectly curated feed. Later, coworkers said the drawing stayed on the bulletin board for weeks, a small crayon sketch, simple, childlike, but honest, because children often notice what adults overlook. They don't analyze patterns, they don't rationalize behavior, they just draw what they feel. And what that student saw was a smile that didn't match the eyes. From that point on, people began looking closer, not just at Emily, but at everyone. Because sometimes the most unsettling signs aren't loud, they're quiet, repetitive, consistent, and hidden inside something that looks perfectly normal, like a cheerful post, a structured routine, or a smile that never quite reaches the eyes.